Good morning and welcome back to the second day of the business show here at London Excel Centre. I'm joined now by a man who's been described as UK's #1 motivational business speaker. He's also the founder of 4 Networking. Brad Burton, good to meet you, Brad.
Oliver, how are you doing? High five.
Good.
No,
yeah,
come
high
on,
five. Let's
take it away.
Love it. So this is the first one of the day, so I'm already feeling a little bit motivated.
Let's go.
Good. So Brad, if it's okay, what I wanted to talk to today is this idea of breaking the cycle. Right? So lots of people, I think, can relate, particularly in business, to being caught in a negative spiral, if you like, a cycle of negativity. I think what's great about you, Brad, is you've had that in your personal life as well.
True story.
You've kind of broken through that and done something pretty amazing, and now you're using that to help other people. So maybe we could start, if it's okay, with kind of going back
Good enough.
to your cycle there of where you were going around.
You know, here's the thing. What ends up happening in life, and so many people, they're on autopilot. And what ends up happening is they just do the same thing every single day because it keeps them safe. So some people will get up at 7 o'clock, they'll go and have some breakfast, then they'll drive to work, and then they'll have a coffee, then at 10:30 they'll go out for a fag, and then you just go through a cycle. And what ends up happening is those seconds turn into minutes, those minutes turn into hours, those hours turn into days, those days turn into weeks, those weeks turn into years, those years turn into a life, and you end up in a place you didn't want to be. Now, we're on autopilot, and what I teach people is to turn that autopilot off. Right? Just stop for a second and ask yourself a question. Is this the right use of my time? So your success or failure in your life or business will be defined by your ability to make decisions. Want more success? Make better decisions. And what we end up finding is that people are unprepared to make decisions. So you just stay on the autopilot. So therefore you end up meandering through your life. Or they're scared of making decisions in case they're the wrong one. Now here's the thing about decisions. An expert is someone that has made all the mistakes in a particular field. When it comes to life, I've made them all. When it comes to business, I've made them all. Networking, speaking, whatever, I've made them all. That's what makes me an expert. So you can't be afraid of making decisions. You can't be afraid of making mistakes. And this is what I urge people to do. So if I look at my life, 4 years on benefits, addicted to drugs twice. You've got to work really hard to get addicted twice, right? My dad left when I was 6 months old. I started my business £25,000 in debt. I've got no qualifications. I got shot at when I was 21. Right? So, up until 31 years old of my life, I'm 45 now, I'd achieved nothing because I was so waiting for someone to ring me doorbell, ding dong, give me a big bag of £50 notes and opportunities. It never happened. So I've had to make my own luck. Because people say to me, I've got lucky. I run a multi-million-pound business. I've got 4 networking, 5,000 meetings across the UK. I've written 4 books. I'm a motivational speaker for JCB, Bentley, Costa, these big brands. And people say I got lucky.
Does it frustrate you when people say that you got lucky?
I couldn't give a shit. No, this isn't luck. That's decisions. So you can say the people who say I've got lucky. People who say I've got lucky are people who are jealous. People who wish that they'd achieved what I'd achieved, and actually they can't understand it. They've got an MBA, they've got a degree, they've got all the things, and yet I've not a single qualification. So fundamentally, your success or failure is defined by your ability to make decisions. Up until 31, I made some terrible decisions, terrible. But it's only now looking back. If you'd have asked me at the time, I'd have said it's bad luck, right? So fundamentally, it's about decisions, and that's what I help people do.
When you were going through that, okay,
which bit?
Let's call it, the negative part, right? Was it one thing, like you mentioned getting shot at, right? Did you have a sense that this stuff was happening to you and your perspective was changing?
No.
Or was there one thing that happened, someone shot at you and everything changed?
No, this is the thing. It's a bit like saying to a fish, what's the water like? Well, you're on about water, right? You don't realise you're in it. Nobody chooses a bad life. Nobody chooses to have a terrible day, ever. But on occasion we have terrible days. So it has been a gradual change. It has been a gradual change because you can't skip the steps. So many people I see it around here, people selling certainty. If you come on my course, you will learn the secrets to have a laptop lifestyle. Well, on that basis, why the fuck are you on a stand for 2 days? In the nicest possible way, why are you on a stand for 2 days? So fundamentally, make any sense? If you ask that question, so I've sussed something out that this thing, any change takes time. And to do it fast, it's a bit like a hot bath. My wife has the hottest baths ever. I have no idea what's going on. If I try to lower myself into the bath, I'll just be straight out.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Right. So you got to lower yourself in gently. And this is what I urge people to do, is start moving forward. And my business plan and my life plan is to be better in the next 2 weeks than the previous 2 weeks. That's it.
But do you feel that? Do you genuinely feel, okay, next 2 weeks I am now better than 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
You feel it yourself?
I'm always learning. I'm like one of those robots. I'm almost like a short circuit Terminator robot. I'm looking for opportunities all the time, which the opportunities were always there. I've just, for whatever reason, I didn't see them. Yet the amount of opportunity I must have walked past because I didn't believe it was for me. I've come on your stand today, and within about 2 minutes, I've seen an opportunity of which we're exploring.
You did, yeah. Happened that fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. like a real opportunity for you and us. And actually, I see opportunities now, whereas most people would just walk past it or be frittered them away. So I'm now getting more yield out of every single minute of my life now. And that's why I believe I'm a success, because I've found my way that works for me. You know, I'm not the most wealthiest guy in the world. There's people that you've got in your lineup today who've got 10, 15, 20 times more money than me, but I don't know anyone happier. I don't know anyone happier. So actually, what are you doing it for? Because every single decision that you make in your life is about making you happy. Whether you go out with your mates to get drunk, whether you go and buy a new pair of trainers, whether you go and play a new computer game, whether you get married, whether it's to make you happy. And actually, this is the thing. I'm the happiest guy that I know. Because what people try to do is think that when they get wealthy, then they can get happy, and then they can get healthy. Well, actually, I unravelled 6 years ago. I had a nervous breakdown. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 6 years ago. I'm all right now.
That's relatively recent then, so you'd already built quite a lot of your business.
Right, no, but here's the thing. My life was like a game of Jenga. I had this big tower, wobbly tower of success. It was one brick away from going down. Now, what's a great thing about a deconstruction like that is I've taken all the blocks down over the last 6 years, and I've rebuilt it. I now have a stable Jenga tower. And this is what I say to people. I would suggest that anyone watching this right now, right, this is a guy who's been there, okay, is that you start looking after your health. You start looking after your happy. Because if those two go, you're finished. And I would always urge people, the people that I teach, I run a private members club, I teach people that I teach is this whole thing is about, I would rather you were slow and stable than fast and wobbly. Because I flew around, I was doing 40,000 miles a year driving, I was speaking like 3 or 4 times a day. I had 3 stone heavier because I used to have 6 cans of Red Bull a day.
You could only snack. And
right, six cans of Red Bull a day, didn't go to the gym, didn't know my wife, didn't see my children, but I've got a multi-million-pound business. And actually, you ask yourself, when's the finish line? Because this is the thing, you've got to know your level. See, I'm never going to be, I'm world class as a speaker, like no question, world class. Am I really going to be going around the world touring? I couldn't give 2 shits. I'm genuinely not bothered. I found my happiness. I don't need a Lamborghini to find my success. I've got a Lamborghini. And what I mean by that is I have my Lamborghini. And what I mean by that is I have an arcade machine. Right? Which was a childhood dream of mine. I have a full-size arcade machine.
So what's on it? Is
everything.
It,
every arcade game from my childhood. And that's my Lambo. That's my Lamborghini.
It makes sense.
Right? So I don't need to look at what everyone else's goals are and then to be mine. My goals, I have everything that I want. I've got more money than I sensibly know what to do with. Right? I've got more time than I sensibly know what to do with. So somewhere along the way, I found my happy. But people say, oh, you need to get bigger goals. Don't tell me what I need to do. I am happy. So
do people genuinely say that to you, Brad?
Yes.
You've got to shoot bigger?
Self-limiting beliefs, me. Let me tell you something. Be driven. Be ambitious. But be happy. And when that drive and when that ambition starts causing you to be unhappy, you have found your level. Because what ends up happening is so many people, what they've got is they've got these goals based on, you know, I had this idea where I'd get a Zonda going around Monaco with a plague boy, you know, thing. And my mum said to me, she said, Brad, let me just break something to you. You're not Jay-Z. So what I always urge people is to find their goals and make certain that those goals are not so lofty that they become nightmares, those dreams. So I'm now at a point in my life where I have everything in order and balance. Right? I know entrepreneurs that have got more money than I've ever seen. I mean, one of my friends, he went to show me how much he had in the account, and I've never seen money like it, like genuinely. But he's not happy. He's broken. He would swap with me today. And what he keeps doing is keeps working to make more money. Because he doesn't know where his happy is. Now, I've got another friend of mine. You know what? We end up saying, what's going to happen is my life's going to be good when I get a 40-inch television. You get a 40, you go, let's get 60, 80, 100. I've got a mate of mine, he lives over in Mayfair. He's got an £8 million property. Just going through a divorce at the moment. It'll be 4 million soon. And he took me down to his basement. Don't worry, he's not a serial killer. But he took me down to his basement, turned the lights on. It was like something on Fast and Furious. He had a 40-foot screen and a cinema screen, 40 seats. Wow. I said, Steve, that's amazing. I said, do you want to give me a FIFA? We had to give him a FIFA on his PS4. I said, do you know what you need now, Steve? He said, what's that, Brad? I said, 38 fucking mates. He ended up thinking that that's where his happy is. Sure. It isn't, because fundamentally why people end up doing daft shit is because they're unhappy. And I know this, I'm living proof of that, because I've done some pretty daft things in my time because I was unhappy. So once you get your happy right, people under stress don't make great decisions. Remember I said before, it's about making better decisions, more success? People under stress, when you're stressed out, you don't make great decisions. So the idea is to make better decisions faster when you're not stressed. This is what I do.
So you're talking there basically about getting the fundamentals right, and that's what a lot of people get wrong.
Correct.
But you also talked about right now you've got everything in balance. You haven't got the most money that people have in the world, but you've got enough. You've got your arcade machine.
Yeah.
But you said when you have your health, and the fundamentals are there, you can be happy. But then things can happen to you.
Of course.
Right? Your health can go. You could be the fittest person in the world and something can happen.
Right.
So how do you approach that when something else comes in and really, genuinely, not something happens with your family or something? What do you do?
A friend of mine, 8th of January over in Hawaii, $10 million property, overlooking the sea, and then all of a sudden his phone goes, text message, missile inbound, incoming.
Oh yeah, that's on the news.
Right? 38 minutes, he thought he was going to die. He thought a nuclear missile was coming in from North Korea. Right? So guess what he did? He rang up the office, said, listen, we've got to get those invoices sorted. And then what we got? No, he didn't. Right? What he did, he rang up his daughter, 5 and 7, with his wife, and he told her what was going on. But he never let on to the children that they might be dying. And he told them all the things that he needed to. Let me tell you something. I'm not waiting till the last day of my life or my last breath to do and say the things. Yes, there might be a missile inbound right now as we're talking, a metaphorical missile that's coming my way. It's coming all our way. That's why that's why I live every single day the way that I would if it was
prepared for that already.
And that's what. Now what? This is the whole principle of the book. The only time we ever ask that question, now what, is when the shit's hitting the fan. When we've got a bereavement, illness, lost somebody, getting divorced, lost a job. Now what? Well, I'll tell you what. That's not the time, because people under stress don't make great decisions. So what you need to do is know what you're doing ahead of any pressure and stress, and that's where I've come in. So you know, an asteroid is coming towards all of us at some point. I get that. But this is why I'm saying I'm living my life well. I'm living my life the way that I want to. So could I make more money? Yes. What's the fucking point? I know it's the business show, but what's the point? Tell me, what's the point? Well, so I'm having lunch with a mate of mine, dinner with a friend of mine, right? He's got a £2 million proper business. Chat, blah, blah, blah. And he says to me, he says, you know, I said, what's that? He said, a £10 million business. I said, oh, that's lovely that, Danny. Tell me, Danny, why do you want that? Well, so I can do the nice things with my family. And get them the nice things. Like what specifically? Well, you know, the nice things. No, specifically what? He couldn't tell me. I said, mate, the reason that you want a £10 million business is because you got locked in a coal shed by your dad when you were 6. And somewhere along the way you've got something to prove. So what is it about £9,999 that isn't success, but a £10 million it is? So this is it, and this is what I work with people, because I'm telling you something. Once you get this mindset right that I've got, you're unbeatable. And if I want to go and get a £100 million business, I can go and do it. Like, genuinely. But I don't. Now, are my self-limiting beliefs, or is it about my life? Because I'll tell you something, what I don't want at the end of my eulogy is somebody reading out a CV about my business achievements.
It's not great, is it?
No, and this is the thing, I've seen too many people being hyper-connected before networking, I've seen too many people believe they're going to live forever. So actually my motivation right now is to continue to make a positive difference.
Okay. Do you think that people have been sold on this idea, I guess you hinted on it, but you see it here as well, the business show, of these kind of frameworks of success that you need? You need these foundations. You mentioned things like MBAs, degrees. Where does that come from, and why do people buy into that so readily? Because it obviously speaks to something.
I get it. Of course it does. Yeah. Because people want to believe they can skip the steps. Yeah. And you can't. I've done it. So let me explain. You know, look at me. 45 now, 45. Right? You know, no qualifications, 25 grand in debt, been shot at, look like a drug dealer. Right? Because I do. I get it. Right? Nothing I can do about that. But I play up to that. And actually, I've got a successful business now, of which I've exited out of it. I'm not involved in it. I've got a management team looking after it and a majority shareholder.
This is for network.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see your face there at all on the stand, so that's interesting. Yeah. But you must have backed out of it and just...
Because I realised something, that actually, they needed fresh legs. And actually, I needed a fresh challenge. But people want to believe that somewhere along the way, you can have a 4-hour work week. I don't know anyone who's got a 4-hour work week, even the most successful entrepreneurs, because you don't. You want to keep going. And this is where I'm at. See, what I talk about is this intensity. Have intensity, but equally having recovery. Recovery is as important as intensity, and people get this all twisted. So from my perspective, people want to believe that because it's so expensive, these courses, at £10,000 come to my mastermind, it's so expensive, it must work.
It must be good.
And I'm doing it the other way. So I've got a track record of disrupting industries, whether it's business networking. I was told it never worked. The bank manager laughed in my face. Fast forward, 12 years, 5,000
So what did you do differently to disrupt that?
Oh, so most networks have a group there in Shoreditch that you go there as a member every Friday, right? And then there's one down at where I don't even know, Earl's Court or whatever. what I've done is I've linked them all together. So as a 4 networking member, you can go anywhere. So you can go to Manchester, and then your membership works in London. So we've got access to all these groups. That's fundamentally different. What we also did in 4 networking was appointments. We had 3 10-minute appointments in group meetings. So everyone stands up, does a 40 seconds. Then you write on your business card 1, 2, and 3. You swap a 1 for a 1 with someone you want to have a chat with, then a 2. Then you have 10 minutes. Me and you'll have 10 minutes. And 10 minutes is long enough to establish. So, and the other thing that I did was I put the web at the core. So I put the web there, so therefore that people, members from Kent, could do business with. So it was fundamentally different. So I disrupted that. When I started my business books, once again, nobody gave me a chance. My book, Get Off Your Ass, my first business book, I was told you never get it in Waterstones. It's in Waterstones. You can't call it a business book, Get Off Your Ass.
But you say, people said you'll never get that book into Waterstones, it's in Waterstones. What did you do between those two things?
So you never get it published, you said. Okay, cool, so self-publish it. Then what I did, I rang up the chief buyer at Waterstones for 6 weeks, every single day, and eventually he picked up the phone. Hi Brad, I've been meaning to come back to you. No, you're not. So I went to see him, and it was the best way to describe that. Mr. Burns walked in there. Right, so tell me why you're here. You're the chief buyer at Waterstones. I've got a book. What do you frigging think? Never said that. But anyway, it's in there, so it's in Waterstones. Now, the point I'm making, no qualifications, 4 books, of which I've written every single word in there.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. No ghostwriter, none of that, right? So, did that, and then motivational speaking. Brad, shaved head tattoos, you look like a drug dealer, you're never going to get booked, you're never going to get taken seriously. 2 weeks ago, Costa Coffee, they rang me to go and do their conference. You know, this is what you've got to understand. I've disrupted industries. Well, guess what? I'm disrupting the next industry, personal development world, and I am coming after those people. And every single morning I've got to check under for bombs, because I need a mission, and my mission is to clean up the town. Because rather than it being so expensive, it must work, right? Rather than it being so expensive, it must work. It's a situation of, it's so cheap, what's wrong with it? Just check your audio there, guys. This just fell off. Are you good? Okay, fine, sorry. Professional all the time. So, if you look at this whole situation where I'm doing now my private members club, my Now What Club, which effectively is as radical as 4 networking was back in the day. So what 4 networking did for business networking, I'm doing for personal development. What my books did for book writing and speaking, it's the same situation. And you know, I've got a track record of making stuff that I say I'm going to do happen. Because I wouldn't put my name to it if I didn't believe 100%, not 99.9, 100% that I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm telling you, I'm going to clean up the town.
You said that you always, within there, you said you always need a mission. Is that the case, or do you ever think you'll get to the point where you think, not that you're done, but there's nothing that you want to go after?
That's what happened. That's what happened when I wrote that book. Now what? I'd reached the pinnacle of my career. I'd achieved every single goal. Every single goal.
You felt like that?
Yes, I wrote about it. That it was a bit like turning around and saying, looking at a big mountain and saying, I'm going to conquer you, Everest. I'm going to conquer you. And you spend all your life training, and then you get to the top of it, put a flag in the top, and go, it's just a fucking mountain, and you feel empty.
Where's the next one?
And actually, that was the point that I said, now what? Because actually, somewhere along the way, so I need to now what I need to do is need to do 4 networking global. That's where my happiness is. No, my happiness is with my family. Because my priorities, when I unravelled, were 1, business, 2, family, 3, health. I've got type 2 diabetes as a direct result of that for the rest of my life. Or because of that 6-year period where I was working so hard, hustling and grinding, that I've got type 2 diabetes, a life-threatening illness now, as a result of me eating too many cakes. That's the reality of it. So I can turn around and go, oh, but it's bad luck. No, bad decisions. But I didn't realise it was bad decisions at the time.
But you accept that you did that to yourself?
Yes, 100%.
And that's the lesson that you learned. It was almost like you're being thrown all these things in your life.
And as a motivational speaker, you know, I wouldn't be much of a motivational speaker if I'd not shared that I'd been shot at, you know, no qualifications, been addicted to drugs, diabetes type 2, nervous breakdown, marriage loss, if I didn't share it. See, these are like aces. An ace can be either a 1 or 11 or 1 or 10 for this conversation. And actually I was scared, I was embarrassed about these things. So consequently I held them and I kept them in. And then you go, flip it, boom, I'll tell the world so that I can make a positive difference. And every single day that I speak at these environments, I make a positive difference.
We had a guy on yesterday, Dominic McGregor, who was telling us about, he had phenomenal success very early in his life, early 20s, made loads of money. And then now he's talking very openly about the dark side of business, where he just went to pieces. Because he openly admits, but that act of opening up about that is really, really powerful. So, he's in Parliament talking about it, he's attracting other people who've gone through the same sort of thing. It's almost like when the world is going in one direction, you get people like yourself and Dominic who turn around and come back the other way, and everyone kind of pricks up their ears and listens. And people say to you, you know, you kind of put your arms out there with your tattoo, motivational speaker, it will never work. But it's almost because of those things it does work.
And this is the thing, a lot of people end up with success, they're ill. So they've got all the success and trappings. You know, let me tell you something about these hyper-millionaire gurus that sell it all in. It's bullshit, right? Because I can tell you now, I can go and do a seminar. Imagine me doing a seminar. Hey guys, you're going to learn the secrets of how you can set up your own national network like me. Really? You ain't going to set up a national network. I could tell you every single secret that I've learned. You'll learn the 10 secrets that I'll learn. Right, I could teach you that. Doesn't mean you're going to do it. But what these people do is sell certainty. Certainty that if you come on this course, you will learn the secrets. Bullshit. You need more than that. Because I tell you something, it's a bit like me going on a course with Jamie Oliver. And Jamie Oliver having a cookery set there and everything, all the ingredients, and me having one here, and he's going to teach me the secrets in a seminar all day of how you can make the best souffle. And at the end of it, I then make a souffle in the same time. He makes it. I've got the same ingredients, the same cooking stuff. Does my souffle look anything like his? Does it taste anything like his? Of course not. Why? Because of experience. 20 years of experience at his level. And that's the thing that people can't rush. So when people are buying into this, but I'll tell you something, I'm not popular for this, the way that I'm approaching it. I don't give a shit. I'm not interested. I'm not here to make friends for people who I've got no interest in being friends with. I'm here to change the world. I'm here to positively change the world and to stop people getting ripped off for money that they can ill afford.
I suppose the thing about your past, if you like, or your message is, no one can go back and make exactly the same mistakes that Brad Burton made and end up with the same result. But you've got to go back and make their own mistakes.
Correct.
And that's the only way you can do it.
Absolutely. And you shouldn't be afraid of making mistakes as long as you learn from it. But if you choose to make a mistake a second time, that's a decision. That ain't a mistake. That's a decision. And I've learned, so up until 31, I never learned off mistakes. I've got this accelerated learning, like a proper accelerated learning in the last few years. And it's amazing. It's almost like, I'm not religious, but I've seen the light. Something changed in me. That I'd realised actually my purpose is to make a positive difference now. I've made money, I'm comfortable, I'm, you know, if you get a pint pot and you go and pour more water in, it just pours out the top. There comes a point when you've got everything that you need. I've got every bit of stuff that I want. You know, I've got every PlayStation game, and people go, let me tell you something. When GTA 4, I think it was, or 3 came out, I was £3 short for it. I couldn't find it. I'd gone down the sofa, I'd gone to Coinstar, I didn't have it. So I didn't have the money, I'd liquidated all my assets. I had nothing. So now to be in a position where I can go and buy any computer game that I want. And have the greatest setup. I'm a big gamer, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. PS4?
PC.
I won't leave you hanging. I'm actually a big PC gamer, I've got an Alienware, but we can talk about it beyond this. So the point I'm making is I have found the most perfect use of my life in that, you know, I am here to positively make a difference. And I continue to do that. Yesterday, I can show you the text. In a second, or tweet it was. Somebody said, you've changed my life. That was as a direct result of this. So within 10 minutes when we come off, you've changed my life, I'm going to live your way. Wow! Amazing.
Earlier on you said you see opportunities everywhere you go for them. Do you ever not get tired, but do you ever think, because we all do, right? And you see opportunities and you think, I just haven't got the energy for that. Or where is that energy coming from?
My personal energy or to pursue these opportunities?
Both really, I guess.
So I make a decision. So here's how I make my decisions. I say yes, no, or a maybe. That's it. So I'm the easiest person to tell, hey Brad, do you want to buy these products? No. Yeah, but you don't know about it. Trust me, I've made a snap judgment based on what I've seen. If you can't sell me within 3 seconds, you ain't selling me in 3 minutes. So make a yes, no, or a maybe. If it's a maybe, line through that, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and then within 24 hours, you'll get a yes or a no. That's how I work. So if you go back to chemistry, that's something I talked about yesterday. If you imagine a tripod with a beaker of cold water and you put a Bunsen burner underneath it, it goes from cold to warm to hot, and just as it's about to go to boil over, that term's called perturbation. That's when people are perturbed to make a decision. Should I leave that job or not? Oh yeah, I'm going to leave him on Sunday. I'm going to leave him on Monday. Hand me notice in, and Sunday night comes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till the next round of redundancies. You've been there. So you end up in that constant state. I'm going to leave that abusive relationship. Oh, he didn't mean it. And you stay in that constant state of perturbation. That's when people are perturbed. And the longer you leave that, the longer you run, the weaker you become to making decisions. So I make decisions fast when I'm at the strongest. And you know, from an energy perspective, I get more yield out of every single day. So people see me on social media at Brad Burton. They'll see me sleeping in bed or having a nap at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or playing PlayStation games. Ghost Recon, love it, man. My favourite game in the decade. But you know, you go, oh, well, that's not very professional. I couldn't give 2 fucks what you think. I'm not bothered. If you don't think it's professional, crack on. You work till 5:29. That's what people do. They're on autopilot, 5:29, 5:30. Close your laptop, pat the kids on the head. Mate, when you're self-employed, every hour is a day off. Every hour is a work day. Every day is a bank holiday. So you can work it however you want to. That's how I maintain energy. So I do what I want to do. I will only do by the minute. So I won't be going home, blocking an hour to do that. Nah. If it takes 21 minutes, that means 39 minutes to play PlayStation games. So I don't have to pretend. When you're employed, you've got to pretend you're working. I used to do it. I used to walk around from one office to another one with a folder, bored, telling people I'm flat out, when actually I'm just bored, want to go home. What a waste of a life, given that our lives are ebbing away, and one day we ain't going to be here. None of us, you're going to die, I'm going to die, we're all going to die. Every single individual in this wonderfully positive story to end on. But the point I'm trying to make is this, that means that it's so important that you live today and you say the things. You don't wait for a frigging missile before you ring your children up and say, I love you, you know? Oh, because we don't say we love each other. Bullshit. You know what I'm telling you, mate? I am focused on making a positive difference, and I continue to do so. And somewhere along the way, I've been given a gift, and what I mean by that is that this kind of working class crossover lad between entrepreneur, street kid, and obviously a book writer and a speaker and a communicator, and I can't even remember, but that old circle chart. Somebody did one and said, look where you are, Brad. You've got your perfect job. You enjoy what you're doing. You're making a difference, and you're making money. You're right here. You know the circle thing, Gantt chart, is it? Right. He said, you're right here. I've never known anyone to have the most perfect setup ever. You know, I get paid thousands of pounds to go and speak at events. Like, I'm waiting for the police to arrest me when I leave. Honestly, I'm waiting for SO19 to throw flashbang grenades and get me on the floor like it's 1993 outside the Hassett Ender. It makes no sense, none of it, but it makes every bit of sense.
Venn diagram.
Venn diagram. We need to get there, yeah. There you go, not a Gantt, thank you.
Sorry. Another question.
Yeah, go.
Obviously, you come from, I wouldn't say your background's changed, but obviously you come from a particular place, you've ended up in where you are now. But looking at your peers from that era, you still relate to them, right? They're still, you still have friends from back then? Is that now a period of life that's
but those, I can't possibly get involved with that life again, because you get dragged back into it. So yes, I'm saying nothing to me but loyal arrives. So yeah, I've got people that I still connect with, but no longer have that same solid relationship that I perhaps did.
Does that unnerve you a little bit that that's still there? Is it something you ignore? You actively ignore?
You know, it's wonderful to be connected to that world on the fringe.
Good. Okay.
Next.
Brilliant. So is there any other messages you want to deliver, kind of from your speeches that you've done, or any advice and tips that you can give, kind of quick fire tips on motivation?
Yeah, you know, understand why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because actually, my motivation is about a Lamborghini. Okay, boom, have a whack in the mouth. Do you still want a Lamborghini? Yeah. Boom, have a whack in the mouth. You still want a Lamborghini, and you get the point. If, however, your motivation is your children, or in my case, my children or my family, do you want a whack in the mouth for your children? Yeah, keep going, right? So money's not a big enough motivator. Here's the thing. So my motivation is to take my children to Disney World and to buy private healthcare for my mum. I've done it 10 years in the bounce, right? And let me just be clear. 12 years ago, I was delivering pizzas. 13 years ago, I was delivering pizzas. But that kept me going. So my motivation isn't money. It's a reason to do with that money. Specific reason to do with that money. That's what I urge people to. I want to be a millionaire. Well, that's cool. Why? Well, because I want to connect. Just get it down to one thing. That if you achieve that, your arcade machine. If you can afford an arcade machine for $4,000, you're doing okay. Okay, and that's what I want you to do. Hone it down to one thing. And by all means, there'll be loads of stuff off that, but get one thing that you say. That's it. And every single thing that you do, every single decision that you make, is about that purpose. But honestly, money's not a big enough motivator. Certainly not for me.
I'm thinking about that arcade machine now.
Yeah, well, I'll send you a link.
Excellent. Thank you, Brad. It was a real pleasure to meet
you. Genuinely. Yeah. Sorry you're a PC gamer. No, I'm joking.
Wonderful.
No, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.